Welcome everyone to this crypto world. Friday, October 11th, 2024. Staying the course is the key right now. As mentioned in last night's flash, we had two poor market stats. You'll see the market held up well, I think, especially stocks, but even cryptos. Some cryptos are even breaking out a bit. We keep seeing this kind of news regularly. I think we'll see more in 3, 6, and 12 months. We'll have to get used to it and stop panicking every time the US announces it might sell 63,000 bitcoins. It's huge. It's an enormous amount. I think they're not just doing it randomly. It's about $4 billion. Good for the US Treasury and deficit, but I think it'll be sold on the markets. We're talking about it too much. Uniswap is quite interesting. DeFi from the last cycle is making a comeback. Last cycle's cryptos are often mentioned. They're not performing well this cycle. AAVE is crushing it right now. Uniswap's performance is impressive. They're launching their own layer 2. I thought it was based on optimism or similar. They actually have their own layer 2. Their goal is to further cut fees. That's good news for Uniswap. DeFi is rising, with AAVE and Uniswap taking off. Interesting, but there's no retail involvement. We've seen Bitcoin for 7 months now. Retail investors are fleeing. Altcoins are down 70%. September's the best month to invest compared to the last 7 months, and we're on the same page. What you see is that October has just begun, and you can see that Binance, which is truly the #1 retail platform, and Coinbase too, have collapsing transaction volumes. Crypto.com staying green. So really, the two big platforms that track retail investors show us again that retail is fleeing lately. They'll return when Bitcoin is over 100,000 as usual. Ubisoft, great news, they'll launch finally their first Web3 game. We discussed Sony's Layer 2, which is coming and currently in testing. Ubisoft is also joining. I think this could lead to something unexpected in gaming. I'm eager to see what happens. Next TTR. Everyone's asking me, but I have no guarantees. Even the European Commission isn't sure of their stance. For now, the only stablecoin that's safe and compliant with my CA, if you want some news for October 2024, is USDC. As for USDT, the European Commission has refused to respond so far. They haven't answered. They're still studying it. Basically, they're keeping their options open. I think everyone, including Binance, is preparing for the possibility of separating from TTR. This could impact TTR, but more importantly, it shows the uncertainty in the stablecoin market. The situation is fluid, and we'll have to wait and see how regulations develop. It's a complex issue with potential far-reaching consequences for the crypto ecosystem. XRP is back to try to close this case. It'd be great if it happens in the next 6 months, but unfortunately it's really a never-ending story. Next, Donald Trump. World finance, incredible. $300 million for a lending platform. It's huge. What we're going to see is, potentially with high probability, the future president of the United States. Let's look at that. He's exploding in the polls on Polymarket, 55.6%. The gap is widening over 55% generally. There's still over 3 weeks left, but yeah. I don't have the details, unfortunately, as I'm recording this video. It's coming out between 4 and 5 o'clock on Twitter and YouTube. It's the presentation. There have already been autonomous taxis like this, especially in China, but it's mostly on flat, almost straight roads. In any case, it's really a car that could drive anywhere. We're hoping for something huge. And maybe even just on a technological level, it must be super interesting. I'm eager to see. We'll discuss it again, and it'll surely impact Tesla's stock price. Looking at the map, as you can see, it's not bad, honestly. The market has digested it well. Uniswap brings some good vibes, which is nice. You can see that Bitcoin dipped below 60,000, but now it's at 60,000 with very nice volumes. Continuing with Bitcoin. It's awful to look daily and think, it wasn't like this 2 weeks ago, but it was way below moving averages. It went down to 58,700 to conclude, could it be a wick like this, here, and here? For me, it's possible. I remain confident. ATH before month end. We have 3 weeks left, and if that's not the case, we'll need to approach this calmly and consider that whether we're at 58 or lose 10% to 52, We'll look into it. Many long positions have returned recently and we might break through before rebounding. But here's the situation. A bit of instability and uncertainty, I'd say. The TIC-SERP made a nice candle at one point, rising to 54 cents. But it lost all gains. It's still hovering around that huge support level. Finally, I wanted to end with two interesting tokens. The leader in GPUs for me hasn't changed. It could be a huge narrative in AI, as we've seen with tokens like Tau, which has shown great performance. Render in decentralized GPU is truly impressive. At the same price as a year ago, it's close to breaking lower, maybe below 4, which would be a great opportunity. Then you have the number 2, which is even lower. Apart from this wick here where it hit below 2 a year ago in early January at 2.30, right now, it's also at 2.30. Personally, I'm invested in Render and would prefer to add more, but if Acala really crashes, I might consider the number 2. It really needs to crash though. We see they're in similar positions, but I think Render will outperform. That's my opinion. Anyway, these are great projects that seem interesting at today's prices. That's all from me. I wish you a good day and I'll see you very soon. Bye.